Next up, Melissa from NOAA, come and talk to us about the IWC's Whale Watching Working Group meeting in lovely sunny Brisbane. Thank you, Melissa.
Hello, I'm Melissa Garcia, and I work for the United States National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and I coordinate a lot of our efforts under the International Whaling Commission, so that's what I'll be here to speak about today. I'm going to give a brief background on
Sorry, do you know where your presentation is?
I don't know where it was put, but it's on there.
Right there. Yeah.
Well, why they find that? So many of you in this room have actually heard some of this information before because our Deputy Commissioner for the United States gave it some lengthy presentation at last year's Planet Whale meeting, and then also many of you thanks were at the our operators conference that we had in Brisbane. So before I really get started, I'll note for those of you who aren't as familiar with the IWC, we're not, when it comes to whale watching, we're not a regulatory body. We serve just as an advisory purpose. It's really fun, isn't it? Okay, so the International Whaling Commission has a 5-year strategic plan on whale watching, and you can all find it online, but this is what it looks like if anybody wants it. And it sets out 5 objectives, and each of the objectives is associated with short and medium-term actions. And the objective of the strategic plan really is to look at how we can work towards setting up whale watching in harmony with the cetaceans, and then also how it can be a benefit to the communities and the regions themselves. And it's set up to be iterative, so it'll be updated as we learn more information, as we get input from operators, etc. Okay, so the responsibility and oversight for the strategic plan is the Whale Watching Working Group at the IWC. There are 12 member countries that serve on this working group. It's chaired by the United States. The chair is the Deputy Commissioner Ryan Wolf, and then I serve as the U.S. member. There's also 4 scientific committee members and 2 ex officio industry members. This was very important for us to add because at the International Whaling Commission, it's all governments that are there. We don't have as much as the industry representative, and obviously we're going to be writing a strategic plan about your industry. We need that input. So the members serve on a rotating basis every 2 years, and they're recommended by their member country representative. This year, the 2 industry members are from Australia and Mexico. It's Steve Mitchell from Mexico and Astrid Frisch from Steve Mitchell from Australia and Astrid Frisch from Mexico. The working group has a work plan for these 2 years. You can see these first 3 items we've completed. That's what the little check mark means. And the one that you'll be most interested in is the 3rd item on that list, which is to hold an operator-based workshop to gain wider input on implementation of the strategic plan. Since the plan's already been written, we want your thoughts on how we can implement it. And then also we wanted to facilitate operator-to-operator discussion from operators in many different areas of the globe. So we held this workshop in Brisbane, Australia this past May, and there were many members of the Responsible Whale Watch Partnership at that workshop. So some of this is going to be no surprise to you. So the objective, as I just said, was to provide a forum to bring the operators and industry representatives to provide their input to the IWC, to the government representatives that would be there on how we can implement the strategic plan. We had over 70 representatives from many nations all over the globe, from Tonga to the UK to Sri Lanka. We really had a great representation. They also represented a variety of operation types. So we had swim-with programs, we had land-based programs, kayaking, large vessels. And then we also had some of the IWC member government representatives, and obviously the working group members were there as we were the sponsors. It was organized around very focused small and large group discussions. So we addressed each objective individually and wanted to, in a small group, which was facilitated by a working group member, gather the input of every individual participant there. It was very important that we get individual thoughts and not just, everybody in the room agreed on something. So the workshop report, unfortunately, I was hoping to be able to provide it today. We had hoped it would be released last week, but we're still waiting. So those of you that are at the workshop, you'll get it immediately when Ryan sends it out. The rest of you, if you're interested, give me your emails and I'll get it to you as soon as we release it. It should be this week. But really the workshop just documents the key points and themes that were mentioned at the workshop. Again, it doesn't represent any sort of consensus because we wanted to document every individual thought. Okay, I'm going to stop yapping. So next step, we're going to look at this report. The working group's going to consider what the workshop participants said and think about how we can implement and update the strategic plan based on the operators and industry members' input. Thanks.